Hello, my lovelies. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about gut feelings, energy, the whole thing when it comes to energy, because I feel like I talk about energy in so many of my videos, but then I don't actually talk about thoroughly about energy and our gut feelings and how you can literally evade so many issues if you just listen to your gut. So in this video, we're going to be talking all about gut feelings, how to really tap into your gut feeling, understand your gut feeling, and build that relationship with yourself so you start to trust your intuition, you start to trust the outlook of your life, and you really just come into your most divine energy. So if you're interested, grab a cute drink and let's talk all about gut feelings and energy. Okay, so I'm posting this, I think, after a few retrogrades that we had, and oh my god, I'm an Aries, so there were literally so many things that happened in the past few weeks where I was like, why is this person coming back? How is this explainable? What is happening? It was insane. Did any of you go through any I don't know, divine timing or universal shifts this month? Because yeah, it was pretty crazy. One of the great things I think about this super energetic divine time that we had was for me to really just tap into my intuition, tap into my gut, tap into my feelings, and understand what they're trying to tell me. And so we'll start this video by really talking about what your gut is. So aside from being your gut from an anatomy perspective, your gut is also, that little feeling that you have when something is either for you or just entirely not for you. And it's that feeling of uneasiness, a little urge, a little, that's a little strange. Should I follow up with that? That feeling. It'll happen when you're thinking about a situation, or let's say you have to make a decision and your gut is I don't feel like this is for you. Or it's yes, this is exactly what you need. This is exactly what we want you to do. That's your gut talking to you. Sometimes you can even experience it when it comes to actual physical reactions. So you might feel uneasy and sick to your stomach, or you might feel really just a lot of excitement, a lot of flush of energy. And that might also be your gut telling you that something good is happening and this is the right thing and the right step for your future. Essentially, your gut is basically your intuition plus your subconscious. And to dive a little bit into the subconscious is basically made up of your past experiences as well as your current beliefs over certain situations. And one of the biggest things that I always think about when it comes to subconscious is really ensuring that we're healing our subconscious energy. And I'll post a few meditation videos in the description box down below to help you when it comes to really training your subconscious and ensuring that you're not blocking yourself from really great experiences or really great outcomes for your life because of past trauma and unhealed trauma. So essentially, that is what your gut feeling is. It's that feeling really deep inside. I know we've all experienced it, okay? Whether it's a new job, you're talking to a new person. It could be just on a day-to-day where you're about to do something and you're this is going to be a really great moment. Or maybe I shouldn't do that and shouldn't go to that party or shouldn't go to that event. It's that little subconscious feeling that you get. And the truth of it is a lot of us do not listen to it. We choose not to listen to our intuition. And the reason why we don't is because we think that there's a better outcome for us, or maybe we're missing out on something if we don't choose to actually engage with that experience. And so we almost talk ourselves out of actually listening to it. And this can happen because of fear of missing out. It could happen because we have people-pleasing tendencies. It could happen because of overthinking, when we want to, consider all the options and consider all the outputs, and we're considering pros and cons and all these things that really just cloud our judgment. Or it could be because of a lack of self-trust or self-love within yourself. When it comes to the fear of missing out, a lot of us tend to overthink situations and be okay, my gut is telling me this person, for instance, is not the person for me, but let me trust it and still go forward with that experience. However, we've all been there. We've all judged it, and we've been at the end of the tunnel where we're yeah, my initial gut about this individual or this opportunity or this work or this friend was literally completely right the whole time. And the reason we don't trust it is because we have a fear of missing out. We have a fear of missing out on an opportunity or something that we really want. And this is where your subconscious comes into play. The thing about life is that a lot of the things that we want, we know we want them on a subconscious level. We know that that is what we want to achieve, and those are the things that we want. And sometimes we act out of desperation almost, and out of a core wound within ourselves, but we're not self-aware enough to understand what that core wound is. So let's say you meet someone and there's very evident red flags right off the bat, but you decide, I'm going to continue to entertain that person, even though I know there are some weird things happening here. I would really urge you to take a step back and evaluate why it is you want to proceed with someone that is clearly giving you red flags. And for me, previously in the past, this has happened because of a fear of being alone, a fear of not having love, and a fear of not understanding that love is abundant abundant and I'm going to have the love that's meant for me. When it comes to friendships, maybe you're still friends with someone even though they give you that feeling of like jealousy or like uneasiness, or you don't feel like energetically charged after you guys have a conversation or you guys hang out. That you need to tap into. You need to understand, why is it that you keep entertaining these people? Why is it that you keep meeting up with that same friend every week even though you leave literally feeling drained? Tap into that. Understand what it is in the core wound that is there. Is it a fear of rejection? Is it a fear of abandonment? Is it because you feel like you have a lack of connections in your life and so that makes you feel like you want to be with that person or hang out with that person? When it comes to jobs, maybe you're in a position right now that you feel uneasy about. You don't really like it. You don't feel like it's something that's going to get you to the next level of where you want to be. Ask yourself the question, why is it that you still persist in this? Maybe it's a boss or a coworker that treats you badly and you have this really bad gut feeling about working at this company. So what keeps you there? What is the subconscious block there for you? Is it because you feel like money is not an abundant thing and you're not going to be able to get more than this job? Is it because you feel like this is the best job you've had so far and so you're just not going to explore other options? What is it about it? Is it because you don't want to go out and kind of do the work, tailor your resume, and get yourself a position that's actually more in line with you? Understand what it is from a subconscious level that is not letting you push that thing to the side and trust your gut and intuition and move forward with things that actually are aligned with you. It's very important to understand the root cause when it comes to these things. Another one of the key reasons why we don't trust our gut is due to people pleasing. So we've all been there, where we meet a person or we're in a situation and we know that that thing might not be for us, but because our friends tell us it's good or our family members tell us it's good, we're like, all right. So I can tell you guys from personal experience, being a little bit older now, I do have a little bit of pressure from my family about marriage and the concept of marriage. And I know a lot of you, ethnic girlies out there, you probably have been in that experience before. And it can be a lot of pressure. And sometimes you do have to just take a step back and understand that when you meet someone, it doesn't mean it's going to end up in marriage. It doesn't mean that person's going to be the person for you. But if any of you have ever spoken to your parents about a person you're talking to or your dating experiences, a lot of the times parents will say, well, compromise, like it's fine. Like they don't have to have everything, or, Indian matchmaking and how they're like, you will never get a certain level of compatibility and whatnot. The truth of it is, if your gut is saying it's not that person, it's not that person. There is no amount of making that person in your mind or in person to make you believe that if your gut's already telling you it's a no. And a huge tip from me to you is understand what is a subconscious block versus an actual red flag or divine block. So a subconscious block is when you and yourself and your past traumas refrain you from being able to experience that person or open up, or maybe your anxious tendencies will really come up in that situation. A divine blocking, on the other hand, means maybe that person has shown you right up front that they're a bit of a liar. Maybe they've shown you right up front that they can't communicate correctly. Maybe there's like very evident things, like quite literally the universe is like, nope, and puts it in front of you, telling you that that person's not for you. That's a divine blocking. Okay, there's a difference between subconscious blocking and divine blocking. So it's really important to really understand the difference between the two and understand when you might be in a situation of divine versus subconscious blocking. Another reason why we don't trust our gut is because we quite literally don't trust ourselves. I think this is the most common one, to be honest, that I've seen with a lot of people. It's just that we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves enough to make the right decisions for our life because we haven't built that relationship with ourselves enough to trust ourselves in particular situations. And this honestly comes from a lack of self-awareness. It comes from a lack of self-love. It comes from an inability to really just be with yourself, build a relationship with yourself, build this harmonious companionship with yourself, to trust yourself when it comes to different difficult situations that you're faced with. And to be honest, the more that you work on building that relationship with yourself, the more you're going to be able to really have objective views when it comes to trusting your gut. You're going to be able to listen to it more often because you've understood what's meant for you and what's not meant for you. So one of my biggest tips when it comes to learning how to trust yourself is you need to give yourself experiences so that you can show yourself with actual proof that you can trust yourself. So this starts by making really small decisions. So let's say you're really hungry one day and you're like, okay, I want to order takeout, but I don't know what to order. So lay out a few options for yourself, and then whatever your gut feels like it wants to eat, go with that. Let's say you're like, okay, I got burgers, I got like pizza, and I got sushi. And your gut is like, I want to eat sushi. That's what you choose. Just do it. Even the small little things, because the thing is you have to train your brain to understand and believe your gut. And once you do that and you build that up kind of like a muscle, you're going to be able to trust yourself a little bit more. You're going to be able to understand that the decisions you make are actually good decisions for you. You're not making decisions because you're unaware, unable to, because you don't have the capabilities to do so. You have to prove yourself wrong. And this is the thing with a lot of us, we put a lot of merit into what other people tell us, because sometimes it's a little bit more digestible when we hear somebody else give us advice over us just listening to ourselves and understanding that that's the same advice we would have given ourselves. The reason we go through this is because we don't trust ourselves. We don't have that foundation of a relationship with ourselves. So you need to build that over time, and you can do that by simply just allowing yourself to trust your intuition on a day-to-day basis when it comes to things. And look, it's a lot easier to pick food than to choose if you want to be with someone or not. So I'll talk about the other side and how you can do that as well. All right, so when it comes to people, this one I think is a lot more difficult because you do want to kind of explore, that friendship or that companionship with a person. However, I really urge you that once you feel that gut feeling that something's not going to work out with a person, give yourself a time frame. This is what I do. I allow myself to have a certain time frame on when I want to end that connection if I continue to have that gut feeling or it continues to get worse. So I do allow myself to give that person, that new friend or that new person, an opportunity to really show me if they're the person for me, but I'm aware of it. So I don't sabotage the relationship, but what I try to do is just be like, okay, I feel like within this time frame of really getting to know that person, I'm going to have a clear understanding of who they are. I'm going to try my best to understand if this is someone that would be for me, but I'm also very clear on like, if I still feel these feelings or I'm feeling even worse by the time we're getting close to the end of my time frame, I'm not going to entertain it any further. And this is a wonderful way for you to learn to trust your gut, because time and time again, when you decline and choose not to talk to people that aren't good for you, you are going to learn that your gut can be trusted. You are going to learn that you have the ability to actually make the decision over when someone is good for you and when someone is just simply not. And this is something that really taps into your energy. It taps into your ability to make the right decisions for yourself. Listen, energy does not lie. The energy that we feel when we're around a person, when we meet a person for the first time, when we're talking to somebody from a job, whatever it is, that energy speaks to us. Learn to listen to it. Learn to listen to that energy because it's literally telling you things. It's giving you more information aside from the facts that you know. It's giving you information to make a good decision. Think about it. Would the universe really not want you to find love? Would the universe really not want you to have good friends? Would it not want you to have that amazing job and that amazing life? Of course it wants that for you. It wants all these beautiful things for you. However, when something is not in the path of alignment for you, it's gonna stop it from happening for you. And look, I read this somewhere about the universe, and this super resonated with me. The universe will either say yes, it will say not yet, or it will say, I have something better for you. That is the reality of it. You have to trust and have faith that the universe is working with you. It is not just you. There is a higher power that works alongside you and helps you and guides you. The kind of love that you're looking for is not with a specific person, okay? Or the friendship that you're looking for, that best friend that you want, might not be a specific person. The universe has something in particular that it wants you to have, a generalized idea of what it wants you to have, but it might not be with that person. And so what you need to do is you need to let it go. You need to allow yourself and trust the gut, trust the feeling, let it go. If it's meant for you, it will be. If it's not, you will get better, because that's how the universe works. This is how this entire cycle works. And it's so funny because I really want to do a video all about the universe and explaining the laws of the universe and laws of energy. But to give you a little bit of a snippet, the more you release control over what things should be and how they should align and all that stuff, the more you're going to see blessings come to you, because you're not resisting. You have to understand that when you resist from things, you want things to only be a certain way, only pan out a certain way, only give you that person or give you that opportunity or give you that amount of money or give you da-da-da. It's not going to happen because you are quite literally obsessing over something that is not in your control. You only control like half of the equation, really, which is only yourself. You only control what you do about it. You only control how you react to things. You only control that portion of it. But that gut feeling, the energy, It's the energy of that other person, the energy of that other experience that is speaking to you. And your gut will tell you when something's in alignment with you. That's how the universe communicates with us, right? If there is no divine blocking, it means that it's probably meant for you. But the more blocking you have, the more you will see that it's not meant for you. I will say something. For those of you that are into prayer and into, trusting the divine, trusting God, there's this prayer that I do. I shared this with one of my friends the other day, and this is the most powerful prayer that you could ever pray when you're in situations where you don't know if you should trust your gut or if you should continue, pursuing, whether it's a job, a passion, a person, a friendship, whatever it is. This prayer will answer that question for you. But big disclaimer, do not do this prayer until you're actually really ready for that thing to be snatched away from you. Because let me tell you, oh Lord, if you literally do this prayer and the thing gets taken away from you, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that you asked this from the universe and the universe delivered exactly what you asked for. The prayer is, you basically tell God or the universe, whichever you believe in, if this is for me, keep it here and bless it to have a wonderful outcome for me. And if it's not, take it away from me. And when you say this prayer, oh my gosh, be careful, okay? If it's not for you, the speed at which the universe will answer your prayer is uncomparable. It will literally take it out of your life. And this has happened to me so many times whenever I had a little gut feeling and I wasn't sure if I wanted to really tap into it, or I wasn't sure what direction to take it in. I just prayed this prayer. I asked the universe, I was like, hey, if this person is for me, or if this job is for me, or if this purchase is for me, give it to me and bless it in a way that will benefit my life, will benefit that person's life, and just make the world and the universe a happier place. And if it is not, take it away from me, because I know that there's something so much more beautiful, so much more powerful, and so much better that you want for me. And the reality of this whole prayer and this whole concept of it is you have to release control to understand that what's meant for you will be given to you in divine timing. Divine timing, the universe, and all of these concepts really come into play when it comes to life because we're all energetic beings. And the truth of it is the divine has a plan for you. It's going to give you exactly what's meant for you in divine timing, in a state when you're ready to receive it. Sometimes when we don't receive the thing that we want, let's say your gut is telling you this person might not be for you, but you really want that person, but you really want that opportunity, you really want that friendship, you really want that job, whatever it is, sometimes it's not the timing yet. It's not time for you to have that. Because if you had that person, maybe that new business idea that you were working on wouldn't have worked. Maybe if you went and you had that job, maybe you wouldn't have experienced having wonderful coworkers that you do now. Maybe it's because if you were friends with that person, you would have missed out on all these wonderful new opportunities with these other friends that are coming for you in your life. You have to understand that the universe is not going to deliver you what is meant for you in a timing that is wrong. It's not going to give you something in a state where you're not ready to receive it or not ready to amplify it and grow it and make it a really beautiful thing for your life. So have faith, trust the process, and understand that those gut feelings that you have are worth you actually listening to. All right, so that's all for our video today on divine timing, on energy, on trusting our gut, intuition, etc. I hope this video gave you a little bit of an understanding over your gut, over trusting that, building a relationship with yourself so that you can trust your intuition, as well as a little snippet into, how our energy is and the power of the universe. I believe in you, I know you can do it, and I'll see you next time.